In the literary application, a comedy is a fictional work in which the materials are selected primarily in order to interact and amuse us. The term comedy is applied only to plays for the stage or to motion pictures and television dramas. Within the very broad spectrum of dramatic comedy, the following types are frequently distinguished. There are seven types of comedies: romantic comedy, satiric comedy, comedy of manners, restoration comedy, comedy of humors, high comedy, and low comedy. Romantic comedy was developed by Elizabethan dramatists on the model of contemporary prose romances such as Thomas Lodge, Rosalind, the source of Shakespeare's As You Like It. Such comedy represents a love affair that involves a beautiful and engaging heroine. The course of this love does not run smooth, yet overcomes all difficulties to end in a happy union. Satiric comedy ridicules political policies. The early master of satiric comedy was the Greek Aristophanes, whose plays mocked political, philosophical, and literary matters of his age. Shakespeare's contemporary Ben Jonson wrote satiric or sometimes called corrective comedy. The comedy of manners originated in the new comedy of the Greek Menander and was developed by the Roman dramatists Plutarch and Terence in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC. Their plays dealt with the vicissitudes of young lovers and included what became the stock characters of much later comedy, such as the clever servant, old and stodgy parents, and the wealthy rival. The English comedy of manners was early exemplified by Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost and Much Do About Nothing, and was given a high polish in Restoration comedy. The Restoration form owes much to the brilliant dramas of the French writer Molière. It deals with the relations and intrigues of men and women living in a sophisticated upper-class society, and relies for comic effect in large part on the wit and sparkle of the dialogues, which constitutes a kind of verbal fencing match as well as on the violations of social standards and decorum by would-be-wits, jealous husbands, rivals, foppish dandies. Excellent examples are William Congreve's The Way of the World and William Wycherley's The Country Wife. A comedy developed by Ben Jonson, the Elizabethan playwright, based on the ancient philosophical theory of the four humours that was still current in Jonson's time. The humours were held to be the four primary fluids: blood, phlegm, choler, and the melancholy, whose temperament was held to determine a person's both physical conditions and type of character. In Jonson's comedy of humours, each of the major characters has a preponderant humour that gives him a characteristic distortion of disposition. Johnson expounds his theory in the introduction to his play Every Man Out of His Humour, and exemplifies the mood in his later comedies. Often he identifies the ruling disposition of a humorous character by his or her name. The Johnsonian type of humorous characters appears in plays by other Elizabethan and remained influential in the comedies of manners by William Wycherley, William Congreve, and the other dramatists of the English Restoration. High comedy, as described by George Meredith in a classic essay, The Idea of Comedy, evokes intellectual laughter. Meredith finds its highest form within the comedy of manners in the combats of wit between such intelligent, highly verbal, and well-matched lovers as Benedict and Beatrice in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing and Mirabell and Millamant in Congreve's The Way of the World. Low comedy has little or no intellectual appeal but undertakes to arouse laughter by jokes and clownish physical activity. It is therefore one of the common components of farce. Farce is a type of comedy designed to provoke the audience to simple, hearty laughter. Belly laughs in the parlance of the theatre. It commonly employs highly caricatured types of characters, puts them into improbable and ludicrous situations, and often makes free use of sexual mix-ups, broad verbal humor, and physical bustle and horseplay. Farce was a component in the comic episodes in medieval miracle plays, such as the Wakefield plays, Noah and the Second Shepherd's play, and constituted the matter of the Italian commedia dell'arte in the Renaissance.